Avatar
Let's start with, yeah,
Meher
sorry.
Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Yes.
Yeah. Please. So let's start with my wish. You want to read?
Okay. My wish. The lover has to keep the wish of the beloved. My wish for my lovers is as follows. 1. Do not shirk your responsibilities. 2. Attend faithfully to your worldly duties, but always keep at the back of your mind that all this is Baba's. 3. When you feel happy, think Baba wants me to be happy. When you suffer, think Baba wants me to suffer. 4. Be resigned to every situation and think honestly and sincerely. Baba has placed me in this situation. 5. With the understanding that Baba is in everyone, try to help and serve others. 6. I say with my divine authority to each and all that whosoever takes my name at the time of breathing his last comes to me, so do not forget to remember me in your last moments. Unless you start remembering me from now on, it will be difficult to remember me when your end approaches. You should start practicing from now on. Even if you take my name only once every day, you will not forget to remember me in your dying moments. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
I just love the last
Oh,
wish
yes.
of Baba's, right? So it's the most difficult to put in practice. But then all avatars have given multiple techniques, and then it's only up to us if we are able to, do this in an effective manner where finally we remember, right?
Yes, yes.
Anyway, so hi, Mayor Kiran, tell me, Jai Baba.
Yeah, Jai Baba. I prefer the last option where he said at least once in a day. No.
Yes.
Yeah,
So at various times he has said different things, 5 times,
yeah,
1 time.
yeah.
But I think these are all hints, right? The idea is to go to a point where we are able to think of him as often and, if
Yeah,
possible, all the time, right?
yeah,
Because when you're thinking of the divine, thinking of God, thinking of Baba, there's nothing else. And
yeah,
that's the state that we need to move to, but we are veiled by sanskaras.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Anyway,
The dust of sanskaras. So basically, we have to internalize it, this scenario. And I think one good way which Kama has said is that when you breathe in, say ba. When you breathe out, ba. So ba ba.
correct, absolutely. Breath awareness is Baba awareness,
Yes, yes.
and breath awareness is Baba awareness is also an expansion for Baba. BA. Anyway, so just to tell you where we are. 1 second. So we finished chapters 9, 10, and 11. Partially, we finished 9. I mean, there was a little bit of 9 left. We finished that. Then we finished 10 and 11. One was the new life, and 11 was the Western visit of Mehera and few of the Mandali. With that, we go back to 12 and start from there. Dehradun, Mahabaleshwar, Satara. This is 1953 to 1956, right? So, I mean, I'll probably read for a few minutes and then we can rotate. Yeah. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Dehradun, Mahabaleshwar, Satara, 1953 to 1956. In February 1953, Baba moved his headquarters from Mehera Zad to Dehradun. There, two new inmates joined the family. One was a beautiful little filly named Sheba that Baba put in Mehra's care, and the other was a cocker spaniel puppy named Peter, who had been acquired when Baba and the women visited nearby Masuri. At the end of 1953, Baba moved everyone, including Sheba and Peter, from Dehradun to Florence Hall, Mahabaleshwar. And in June 1954, they moved again to Grafton in Satara. This then became Baba's headquarters until his second accident in December 1956. During these years, Baba and the women Mandali came only to stay at Mehera, which was left in the care of Kakabaria and Baba's Tibetan Mastiff Bhuti. Bhuti or Bhuti, I don't know. When Baba was holding a Sahwas program at Mehera's Bad, as during the 3 incredible weeks in September 1954 and the Sahwas program of November 1955. In July 1956, Baba made a brief trip to the West, visiting Switzerland, England, USA, and Australia, but the women did not accompany him. Throughout these years, Baba continued his must tours and work. So this is for the period 1953 to 1956. Now, I'm just reminded by all these names of the pets. By the way, those of you who have heard of Baba Zoom uses the passwords of all the pets. So the current sequence, I think, is somewhere. I think it's Booty or Peter right now. Yeah. So they keep rotating the password. The password is the name of a Baba's pet generally. So let's continue. So till the italic words were editor. So now it's Mehera's words. I have told you of our stays in Dehradun and Mussoorie in 1953 and late in Mahabaleshwar and Satara in the stories of Sheba and Peter in my book. Baba loved us too. So now I will just tell you about how we left Satara. It is very sad. One day Baba commented how nice Satara is, how lovely the climate, and shortly afterwards we had to leave. We loved it there and we thought we were going to live with Baba at our bungalow Grafton for the rest of our days. It was a very quiet place at that time, even though we lived on a road that led from a village to the main market in Satara. The villagers on market day came walking by laden with vegetables, and Naja would buy these very fresh vegetables for our kitchen. The rainfall and the soil were good, so I had a thriving garden. I like to be very active and I love to dig in the soil and tend to the garden myself. There was a photograph. So there's Sheba. Oh, is that Mehera? Mehera looks very different in this photograph, but it's Mehera, Sheba, the filly, and Baba. This is, I don't think it's from Grafton because it doesn't say so, but it's the same period. And I think the horse looks fully grown up at this time. Yeah. Okay, continuing. Every evening for a certain period, Naja dressed up and did one-person skits to entertain Baba. She became all sorts of different characters, and her costumes and makeup were really wonderful. Then one day in December 1956, Baba and the men Mandali went to see a cricket match in Pune. It was getting late, and we had been expecting Baba back for some time. At about 6:30 p.m., we heard a car pull up. I was eagerly waiting to greet Baba when he came in, but Baba did not come in. And the car was not our car filled with Mandali. It was a strange car carrying just Baba and Vishnu. Vishnu told us that there had been an accident, and we found that darling Baba was hurt. He was in great pain and he could hardly move. We girls were alone in the house, but we brought a chair, placed it beside the car, and helped Baba into it. It was very difficult for Baba, but somehow we helped him into the chair and carried him inside. Baba's tongue was very badly cut, and his chin and his eyelid too. And his beautiful right shoulder was badly bruised. We learned that Dr. Neelu had been killed in the accident and that Eruch and Pendu had been taken to the hospital. We also learned that the accident had happened between Pune and Satara, quite some distance from Satara. Dr. Donkin came over from the men's quarters to examine Baba, and he found that Baba could not stand. He took Baba to the civil hospital in Satara, and an X-ray taken there showed that Baba's right hip was fractured. The doctor at the civil hospital put Baba in a plaster, not only around his leg, but also around his stomach. Baba was already suffering so much, and with this cast on, he was very, very uncomfortable. Dr. Donkin and Dr. Goher were not at all happy with Baba's treatment, so Dr. Donkin went quickly to Pune, where he found another orthopedic surgeon. Baba was taken by ambulance to this doctor's hospital, but this place was not suitable either. Dr. Donkin continued searching, and finally he heard of a very good military doctor, a Dr. Chatterjee, who knew what was to be done. Dr. Chatterjee did all that he could, and he told Baba that he was to take rest for a whole month. What had happened in the accident was this. Baba had placed his foot on the dashboard of the car, and in the accident, the car had rolled over a bridge. The shock had pushed the head of Baba's femur into the cup of the joint so hard that the cup was broken in the middle. The fluid that lubricates the joint was destroyed too, and as this cannot be replaced, it was forever a bad injury. Femur is the knee, right? Anybody here who knows that? Let's check. Femur bone. I think it's the knee. Thigh or hind limb articulating at the knee. So the ball and socket mechanism is what got is what has got damaged here at the hip. Just reading this makes you so depressed on the amount of pain this must have caused. And anyway. Yeah.
So
I'll
basically,
continue.
he had taken this pain for the suffering humanity. He has just taken some of the sufferings of the humanity. It's symbolic, I think.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So it's, in fact, he had said it's like the crucifixion, and every avatar does something which takes on the pain. So, but then um, uh, an avatar, as opposed to a perfect master, actually experiences the pain, right? So he's gone through it, and that is very, it feels really painful to imagine that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll continue. We had quickly, we had quick, sorry, we had come quickly to Pune to stay in a house called Silver Oaks that Meherji Karkaria had arranged for us. Dr. Donkin got Baba a special bed, and Baba came to stay at Silver Oaks where we could look after him. Meheru's sister, Naggu, who is a doctor, came from Bombay, where she was then staying to help us take care of Baba. She and Goher would confer with each other about the best treatment for Baba. One evening, when we were with Baba in his room, he told us, "Now go to bed early tonight so you can have a good rest and feel refreshed in the morning." Baba himself was feeling restless, but he did not mention it to us then. We got ready for bed and were in bed by about 9 o'clock, but around midnight, Goher came to our room. "Wake up, Baba wants us," she told us. I quickly got out of bed, combed my hair, put on something presentable, and went to Baba's room, where we stood around his bed. Baba said that he had forgotten to give us a prayer that he wanted us to say. Then he told us that he could not sleep and that he was feeling restless and agitated both in mind and body. Baba knew now that he would not be able to walk as he had in the past. He loved to walk very quickly here and there, seeing to his work, but he had now given this up for our sakes. And facing this was a great suffering for Baba. Baba told us that it was a help to him to have me and the others there with him while he was passing through this. He was so restless that finally Goher and Nagu decided to give him an injection. I remember Nagu swabbing Baba's arm with alcohol and holding his hand while Goher gave the injection. We girls then stood by Baba's bed and said a prayer for him to have a restful night. From then, from then on, for some time, Baba continued to have us awakened each night at midnight to be with him for a while during the night. For a number of days now, Baba had been lying on his back and I had not been able to brush or comb his hair. I always braided Baba's hair and tied the braid with a tiny ribbon. As Baba had fine curly hair, the short hairs on his head would make lovely curls. I loved to see these little curls, but this part of his hair was now very knotted. At last, after many days of lying flat, Baba was propped up on some pillows. Do my hair, he told me. So I undid his braid, but I could not undo the knots in his fine hair quickly. I tried and tried until Baba, who was feeling impatient because he was tired of being in bed, asked, "What are you doing?" I explained to him, "I can't get the knots out, Baba. It has to be done every day if the knots are to come out quickly. The only thing to do is to cut part of your hair if you let me." And Baba agreed. So that day I cut Baba's hair. I cut the curls that had become so matted. The doctor came each day to check on Baba's progress. One day he told Baba, "You shouldn't stay in this small bedroom all day. Go out on the veranda and enjoy the trees and for an outing in the car every day. It's a good extraction from the pain of your hip." Baba liked the idea and he began to go out for 3/4 of an hour for a drive with a few of the men mandali. When Baba left, we rushed about his room, dusting everything, washing the floor, changing his sheets, and so on, so that when Baba returned, everything was fresh and clean for him. After his drive, Baba would lie down on his bed to rest, and he let us press his feet for a while. As we did this, he would ask us to tell him about our childhood. He took such a real interest in all the little details of these days in our lives. When I told him some story about a particular teacher at my school who had been kind to me, Baba himself the next day brought up that teacher's name and asked me to tell him more about her. This accident was very serious. Just how serious and how much Baba was to suffer from it, we did not then know. Gradually, with physiotherapy and exercises, Baba's health improved enough for us to be able to return to Mehera for Baba's birthday in 1957. This Mehera Baba and Mehra standing in front of Mehera main house in the 1950s. Okay, that brings us to the close of chapter 12, and probably we can rotate the reading. Who wants to read? Mahu, you want to read? If you're comfortable. Or Kiran or Ashok, anybody.
I can go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, Jai Baba, chapter
Deva,
13,
please.
Mehera Baba's home, February 1957 to 31st January 1969. In February 1957, Baba came to Mehera from Pune, and this was to be his home until he dropped his physical form on 31st January 1969. Up to Baba's second accident, a major part of his work since the late 30s had been contacting his beloved children, the Mus, and this had entailed traveling all over India. Now, apart from the summer months which were spent annually at Guru Prasad in Pune, except for the summer of 1958 when Baba stayed in Mahabaleshwar at Shapur Hall, occasionally short visits to Mumbai when he would stay at Ashina with Nariman and
Ashiana.
Ashiana with Nariman and Arnavas, and Baba's brief trip to the USA and Australia in mid 1958. Baba stayed only at Mehera. Because of his health, Baba was now more inaccessible to his lovers. Inaccessible to his lovers. But from time to time, the door to the beloved opened wide, as in 1962 for the East-West gathering at Guru Prasad, the 1965 Easterners Darshan at Guru Prasad, and the intimate darshans that Baba usually permitted during his visits to Guru Prasad. In 1968, Baba did intensive seclusion work both at Meher and Guru Prasad, and in 1968 he declared, "My work is now finished 100% to my satisfaction." Now that Baba had stopped traveling, Mehera and the woman Mandali at Meher Mani, Dr. Gohar, Meheru, Naja, Rano, were constantly with him for the next 12 years. So we came back with Baba to live at Meher. Meherabad means Meher flourishing and Meher means Meher free. Meher is so blessed to have been Baba's home, the place where he stayed longer than anywhere else. Baba has walked so often in the garden here, done his seclusion work here, worked with his must here, sat with his mandali here, met his eastern and western lovers here, taken his food here, and rested here for the last 12 years of his life and many times before then. So much he has done here, and Baba left his physical form here at Meher. We arrived at Meher just in time for Baba's 63rd birthday. And when we asked Baba if he would like us to celebrate his birthday, he said, "Yes, but only amongst ourselves. Don't invite anyone else." So we had a small cake made, and on Baba's birthday, we decorated it with small little yellow flowers. We had been away from Meherazad for so long that there was no longer any real garden here. Kaka Baria had been taking care of Meherazad by himself for years with just Butti, the Tibetan Mastiff, for company, and there was no one to help him take care of the garden. We did find a lone rose bush with just a single rose on it, and this rose we picked and put on top of Baba's birthday cake. We put some little candles on it too. Darling Baba never recovered completely from the second accident, and these last 12 years were most difficult for him. Almost he had a very lovely strong legs and he loved walking. Even after the first accident, Baba would walk fast and the Mandali had to run after him to keep up. But now Baba could not walk properly. So much Baba denied himself for his love for each one of us, even for those who do not love him. Baba loved to talk and he could not talk. He loved to walk and now he could not enjoy even that. He was helpless. Baba could not move as he would like to and he could not even dress himself. So this life now was very difficult for him. At first, after the accident, Baba stayed downstairs, but when we returned from the summer months in Pune in 1957, he returned to his old room upstairs. But from 1958, it was very hard for Baba to climb the stairs. So we asked him to move to the room downstairs, which is now called Baba's bedroom, and which then was occupied by Goher, Naja, and Mehru. Baba agreed, and before he could change his mind, we very quickly had his bed and furniture brought down. And it was fortunate that Baba did not move. Sorry, and it was fortunate that Baba did move. Correct. Because as time went by, we had to look after him more and more. Before I tell you how we passed our days with Baba at Mehera, I must introduce Mastan, the dog, who was Baba's favorite pet, as he was a part of Baba's household during these years. Mastan was a 3-month-old puppy living at Mehera with his mother, Booty, when we returned here. Baba's horse, Shiba, and Peter, Mani's cocker spaniel, had already been sent to Mehera from Satara. Shiva stayed at Mehera for a little while, but our compound is too small and the surrounding countryside too rough for a horse to be able to get proper exercise safely. So she was given into the keeping of the military riding school in Ahmednagar. Several years later, we watched her win a race in Pune. Mastan's mother Booty was very fine watchdog, but she was not used to us at all. Baba told us she doesn't know you, and if she is ever and if she is ever loose, she might go for you. So every day Baba had her bought on a leash to see us. She would look at each one of us as if to say, "Do I know you? Who are you all? Who are you all?" It was a most extraordinary look. She was a very intelligent dog. Let her get your scent, Baba said. Let her know that you belong here. And he had us break an egg into her plate, watch while she ate it, and then hold out our hands for her to smell. Like this, Baba made sure that Booty recognized us and made friends with us. At this time, Mastan was still a little puppy. He and Peter really loved each other and they loved to play together. But gradually Mastan grew so that by the time he was 1 year old, he was a very big, hefty dog. Peter, of course, stayed the same size and he would look at Mastan as if to say, "How did you get so big?" He could not believe his eyes, and although he was big, Mastan was still a young dog and he still wanted to play with Peter. Now these games were too rough for Peter, who could get hurt in their rompings, but Peter was very clever. When he saw that Mastan was in a playful mood, he would run to our doormat, lie down on it, so he had a soft cushion underneath, and only then invite Mastan to play.
Just for reference, let's see the two breeds that we are talking about here.
Yeah.
We're talking about a Tibetan Mastiff and a Cocker Spaniel. That's the good-looking Tibetan Mastiff. Huge dogs.
Mhm.
Let's see. And the other one is a Cocker Spaniel, bushy coat.
Spaniel.
Yeah, there it is. Beautiful dog, right? So then maybe we'll just see images of Tibetan. Yeah, huge, huge. Yeah. All right.
Mastan Mastan grew into a very fine-looking dog, but although his father was an Alsatian, his ears did
Alsatian.
not. Alsatian,
Alsatian is another
the normal standard
watchdog.
beard. Yeah.
Yeah, watchdog breed. Yeah, this you must have seen, right?
Yeah.
Syndicate Bank logo.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
His ears did not stand up. I thought that perhaps he would look even more handsome with pointed ears. So one morning I held Mastan in the frame of one of our drawing room windows while Mehru took a snapshot of us from outside. And for this photo, I held Mastan's ears up. The film was developed and Mastan looked very nice in this photo with his pointed ears and handsome muzzle. We showed this photo to Baba and it was one that he especially liked. In many ways, Baba showed his love for Mastan. When we first came back to Mehera, Baba did not have his meals in the dining room. He had them in his bedroom. Naja cooked for Baba and then I took him the tray and served Baba his food. While Baba ate, we sat with him. And when Baba was finished, he always said, now bring Mastan. So I ran to free Mastan. I would tell him, go to Baba, Mastan, go to Baba. And he would go galloping to Baba's room and stand in front of Baba. Do you want to see the
See the
picture?
photograph. Yeah. Oh, this is the one where she's holding the ears up. Yeah. So it doesn't always stand up, though it had a Alsatian father. Mastan had a Alsatian father. Alsatians have their ears up all the time. I mean, can make their ears stand rather. Whereas this fellow needed help. Yeah, we can continue.
In the meantime, Rano and Mani had put a sheet folded in off on the foot of Baba's bed. When Mastan arrived, Baba would pat the foot of the bed to signal Mastan, and Mastan would jump up on the bed and lie at Baba's feet. Then he would look at Baba and look at us as if to say, see where I am sitting. Mastan looked so proud. Bring Mastan's food, Baba would tell me. So we brought his food and then Baba would feed Mastan with his own hands on his own bed. How fortunate Mastan was and how happy he was to be fed by Baba. When the tasty bites were finished, Baba would put Mastan and I would tell him, kiss Baba, Mastan kiss Baba. We are taught Mastan to kiss Baba, which he did very sweetly. Baba would bend down to receive Mastan's kiss while Mastan put up his nose as if to kiss Baba.
Wow.
Baba loved animals and out of all his many pets, Baba loved Mastan the most. But Baba was also very strict with him. When Mastan was not in the house, he was never loose. Mastan was always tied up so that he could not go to the village to mix with the other dogs. So that is Mastan. Now I can tell you how we spent our days at Mehera. Around 6 in the morning and sometimes in late years, later than that, after the Mandali on night watch had left, Baba called us. Baba had a button by his bed that rang a battery operated bell, and when he wanted to get up, Baba pressed this button. We waited outside, and as soon as we heard the bell, we quickly opened Baba's bedroom door. I came in first and kissed Baba on his cheek. Good morning. Did you rest well, Baba? I asked. Baba would gesture yes or no, and he always asked how I had slept. Then I would ask, would you like to get up now, Baba? When Baba said yes, I gave him his sadra and helped him put it on. Then he held out his coat for him. I remember one cold morning when Baba was in a hurry to put on a warm coat. I held out the coat for him, he put it on, and then started buttoning it up himself. But Baba buttoned it crookedly, so he undid all the buttons and then pulled both bottom ends of the coat together to get it even. It was a very simple gesture, but Baba looked so sweet at that time, sitting up in bed with his feet on the cushion, pulling his coat ends together, then buttoning his coat. He was like a child, so beautiful Baba was. And the cushion on which his feet rested is still on the floor by his bed. Dr. Ginde, one of the doctors who treated Baba, had told Goher that because of his injury, Baba must rest his feet on a cushion and not on the hard floor. We sent for some cotton wool, cleaned it off seats and so on, and made this cushion ourselves. Dr. Dr. Ginde had also said that Baba must have a cushion under his right hand as well. We also made that, and it is still here on darling Baba's bed. So now when we bow down at Baba's bedside, we kiss the cushion on the floor in memory of his beautiful lotus feet. After Baba put his coat on, he would sit on his bed for a little while and chat with us. Then sometimes he lay down again for just 15 or 20 minutes and add as massage his feet and legs. Four of us, Mani, myself, Dr. Goher and Mehru, sat around Baba's bed. In cold weather, if the cover had fallen off Baba's back, I would pick it up and cover him again and see that Baba was comfortable. But in the meantime, the other three girls would have started massaging Baba's feet, and there would be no place for me to sit. Then Baba would tell me, do my hand, and I would massage his hand and shoulder. Perhaps it did not need to be massaged there, but Baba asked me to do it so that I should not feel left out. Baba was very sweet like that. He was very consolidate and very loving. Then holding my hand for support, Baba would slowly get up from the bed and slowly walk to the dining room. There he would gargle and I would help him wash his face at the table. Now that his hip joint was broken, it was very painful for Baba to stand for long, and he even had to wash his hair sitting at the dining table. Baba could not stand up at the basin the way you used to. Baba loved to listen to music, and while he was having his breakfast, Gohar would turn on his little transistor radio. She would search until she would she found some music that Baba liked. After breakfast, I gave Baba his shaver. Baba shaved every day, and after shaving, he always felt his face to see if he had missed anything. Then I brushed and combed Baba's hair while he listened to music on the radio. Talking of Baba's shaving reminds me of how Baba teased us. One day, Baba was sitting in his chair at the dining table, and I had given him his shaver. Instead of shaving, Baba put the shaver down on the table and looked at us standing around him with a twinkle in his eyes. Of course, we were all girls and so quite free from having to shave. You know, the next time I come, I will see that women have to shave and not men, he told us. We were all so startled. We were all so startled. So, Baba, please don't do that. No, Baba, we begged. Why not? He asked. Baba, we replied, we women have problems enough without shaving. All right then, Baba said. Don't be afraid. Men will have to shave as now. Baba liked to have fun with us like that.
Yeah, to the men on the call, do you also hate shaving? I hate shaving. Necessary evil.
Yeah, most of the days, most of the time, just okay. When it is a meeting or something, then only I try to shave. Otherwise, I always, yeah, I don't shave. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to do it more often. I think, but yeah, I would love to do, once in like 15 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last week I attended a marriage, but I didn't shave and I just attended without that. Yeah, so that I'm very lazy for shaving, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's so much of tech in everything else. There must be some tech and some remedies for all of this, right? Where it should become, you can get rid of shaving, you can, or have some shave, which is so convenient. It's a problem waiting to be solved. Some startup should think of it.
Yeah. Basically,
So
I think
Mahu, what
Baba
do you
should
think? So Mahu, what do you think about that? You agree with the Mandali women who
request.
say uh, that there are more problems, which I agree, which I think the women take a lot more load than the men, not just in physical discomfort, but overall. Mahu, if you're speaking, you're on mute.
Hi, Jay Baba, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Yeah. Actually, I'm driving,
Oh,
so it's
okay.
the first time I'm logging in through my cell phone.
Oh,
So
okay.
there must be some noise in the background because it's kind of on freeway. But um, since it's traffic, it's slower. Car are moving slow. Uh, so I won't be. Can you hear me?
Yeah. There's a little bit
Can you
of
hear the
background
noise?
noise, but we can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, then you have to repeat your question again. If you're interested to hear my reply. Otherwise, we
No.
can just move on.
Okay, no problem. We'll keep moving. It was just a minor question. So drive safe and stay connected.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Kiran.
Yeah.
Continue. Ashok, are you okay to read in a few minutes? After a few minutes?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure. After some more time. Yeah.
Yeah. When Baba finished his breakfast and shaving, it was time for him to go to the men mandali in Mandali Hall, which is in a separate part of the compound from our house. Baba would be there by 7:30 a.m., but as his health failed, he would sometimes be later. Up until about 1965, Baba could still walk to Mandali Hall, although very slowly. When coming down the steps, Baba had to put his hand gently on mine for support, and then Baba walked through the garden with Goher on one side and me on the other. When we reached the door to Mandali Hall, Baba would stop and tell me to go back to our quarters. And after I had left, Francis and Eruch, who were waiting for Baba, would take him into Mandali Hall. Baba has walked through Meherazad garden so often. He loved bright colors and he always admired flowers and beautiful plants. So beautiful was his love for everything, for flowers and animals and birds. I remember that in January 1969, Baba asked me to tell him the names of all the kinds of birds that came to our Meherazad garden. Baba loved everyone and everything, and he loves his lovers very dearly. That is why they come to him. Baba said that his love brings his lovers to him. So his lovers are very fortunate because their love for Baba shows how much Baba loves them. To God, only love is important. God only wants love.
I can make a comment here, Kartik.
Sure.
Yeah, so this is very important what just Mehera shared here. And I've actually read in places, other places where Baba talks about it. Notice that Mehera said um, the lovers have love for Baba. They love him because Baba loves them.
Yeah.
Because Baba, his love for us and his creation that inspires our heart to love him. Without that infinite love that bestow on us, we won't be able to even love him or remember him. So it's all go back to him. It's something to remember. So our ego mind don't get involved. So, oh, I love Baba, I love this. No. None of that. Just I thought I mentioned this.
Very good point. I mean, it's only with His grace and His love that the whole process starts. Yesterday, we were discussing, I was discussing with another Baba lover the same point about how Eruch used to say that, I was briefly a thought passed my mind saying, Why am I so unlucky that I'm born after Baba and I did not get a chance to see him in physical form? And then I stopped myself. The thought came and then I said it, but then I stopped myself and reminded my friend, the Baba lover I was with, about how Baba actually, I mean, Eruch has actually said that those that came to him after Baba dropped his physical form are even more special because he has drawn us just through the power of his love. Just think about it. We did not see him. We did not experience the magic of his the charming physical form. We did not experience the first hand his vibration and his magic. And here we are. We are also drawn and so convinced and living the Baba life, which to me is a tribute to the grace and the love he has given to us. So that's another extension of what you said that I wanted to comment on.
Yeah, just
Absolutely.
exactly. And adding to that is that Mandelis used to tell us that, and I think perhaps Baba said it too, but now I don't remember where. I read or heard about it. But Baba said, after I drop my body, I am more available to my lovers than the time that I was in body. And that's the truth. So, meeting Baba in human form and being with him, of course, was a major factor for feeling his love or even love him more and more. But I think after he dropped his body, his divinity became more and more clear and being more approachable to us. So that's the point. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's it.
perfect. His love, his grace, and your point of the love being even more after he dropped his physical form. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So basically, it's divine love, and it prevails whether he's in body or not in body. But one more thought which comes is that there is a process of reincarnation. So in our past life, we may have been associated or know about Baba in our past lives as well.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Jai Baba.
Okay. So, do you want to use this point to switch and rotate the reading? Ashok, can you, Kiran, is that okay?
I'm fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Is my is my voice all clear, loud and clear?
Yes, yes. But you dropped off a couple of times. I hope your internet is stable.
Yeah, then my internet is stable. So some other reasons. My children called from US. That's why.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
I'll just read.
Please.
After 1965, Baba could hardly walk. He had become very weak, and because of arthritis, his hip joint was getting worse. Baba managed to walk from his room to the dining room, but he had to be carried in a chair from our side to the Mandli Hall and back again. Thinking of Baba being carried in his chair reminds me of a little incident that happened one morning as Baba was about to leave for Mandli Hall. Goher found a Pakistan station on the radio that was playing Qawwali songs. This was Baba's favorite kind of song, but it is seldom on the radio. Baba listened to one verse and then said, "Now I must go. I'll be late for the mandali." As Baba got up to the veranda, I quickly told Goher, "Follow Baba with the transistor." Why should Baba miss his favorite singing? I helped Baba to our porch while Goher followed behind with the radio. On the porch, Goher, still holding the transistor, blew a whistle to call the gardeners to carry Baba in his chair to the Mandali Hall. They came running and picked up Baba's chair and carried him off. Follow Baba, I told Goher. So she followed behind with the radio until they reached Mandali Hall, and Baba was able to hear the whole ghazal. When Baba had left for Mandali Hall, Mehru and I rushed to air his bedding in the sun, clean his room, wash his clothes, make his bed up for his daytime rest. And if we had some fruit such as figs, which when in season, Gaimai would send them from Pune, I would peel them and send them with Goher in a little saucer to Baba in Mandli Hall. It was very tiring for Baba to be in Mandli Hall, just sitting in his chair in the corner and not being able to move about. The Mandli read the mail to him, but it was also very tiring for Baba to answer so many letters. He could not speak, and in 1954, Baba had given up the alphabet board, so he had to have great patience to repeat again and again whatever he wanted to say. The Mandli could not catch every gesture, and it was with great difficulty that Baba answered each letter. On coming from Mandli Hall, Baba usually rested a while, and at that time, Mastan was free to come inside the house. Now, Mastan liked to sleep right in the center of our middle room where it is coolest, So he was in Baba's way as Baba walked to his bedroom. But Baba told us, don't disturb him, let him sleep. And Baba would hold my hand and with great difficulty slowly limped around Mastan. So much love had Baba had for animals that he did not want Mastan disturbed from his sleep. And how much love he has for each human being. Then Baba rested a little and I sat with him while Rano read to him from Time magazine. The others came too, if they were free. But Naza had the cooking to see to, and Mani had to attend to correspondence. Now it's lunchtime. When we first returned to Meherazad, as I have told you, Baba had lunch in his bedroom, but later on he came to the dining room and ate there with us. We had a big oblong dining table at Meherazad, and Baba sat at the head. He asked me to sit on his right and Mani on his left, and beside Mani sat Naja, and beside me, Koher was seated. Baba facing at the foot of the table, facing Baba at the, sorry, facing Baba at the foot of the table were Rano and Mehru. Baba's dining chair is still there, still here, and every morning I put fresh flowers at his place at the table. And every meal now we say Baba's Jai and ask him, Baba darling, come eat with us. When Baba was seated, he told me, as always, where to serve him, and after serving Baba, we would also eat with him. Sometimes Baba saw something on my plate that he felt like having a piece of cheese or a patty or bhajia. And when he did, he would stretch out his hand very gently, take a little. I was so happy, and I always said to him, Baba, have some more. And when Baba was served fish, he often broke off a piece and gave it to me, saying, it's very tasty, you'll like it. After the sec- After the second accident, the doctors had told Baba that he needed to have a high protein diet. So we saw to it that Baba was always served mutton or occasionally fish for lunch. Baba did not like to eat chicken. He usually had curry or spicy dal with mutton and rice for his lunch. And when he did this, Baba picked out the little mutton pieces and lined them up around his plate, putting 2 or 3 pieces on one side and the rest on the other. Then Baba ate a little of the curry and rice or dal and rice and 2 or 3 mutton pieces and then perhaps a little more rice. After that, Baba said, I am finished now. I want to wash my hands. Most of the mutton was lined up around his plate. Oh no, Baba, we said, you haven't finished eating. The mutton is still there. That is for Mastan, Baba said. But Baba, Mastan has his own food. The doctor has said that you must have a high protein diet, so eat your share. You should care about your health. Mastan has his own food and there is meat in that. No, Baba replied. I have had enough and now this is for Mastan. I love to give it to him and Mastan loves to eat it. So I am happy and Mastan is happy. We are both happy and that is how I like it. So I would bring in Mastan. He would sit by Baba's chair and look up at Baba. And Baba fed him his own mutton piece by piece. Every day this would happen and Baba was not eating enough protein. He had hardly any breakfast and a very light supper, and he gave the best part of his lunch to Mastan. So we decided to be very clever and order more meat for Baba's lunch. We sent to the market for extra meat. Naza cooked it, I served it, and now Baba had many pieces of mutton on his plate. Baba looked around at us as if surprised to see so much mutton on his plate, but he knew we were up to this trick. He smiled at us, so we kept serving extra mutton after that, and to please us, Baba did eat a little more mutton. After lunch, Baba went to Mandli Hall to be with the men Mandli, and in the evening he returned to our side. Again, Baba came through the garden, and again he enjoyed the flowers there. As I have said, it is very difficult to grow flowers at Mehrazad as we have very poor soil and very low rainfall. I remember one year that monsoon had failed and we badly needed rain. We complained to Baba, why isn't raining? And Baba told us, wait, it will rain one day. Just have patience. Baba always wanted us to have patience. He had told us that it would rain, and after a few days it did rain. While it was still raining, Baba called me to watch the rain and he said, see, aren't you happy? Yes, Baba, I replied. And then I asked, it's raining well now, Baba. But once it stops, it'll rain again soon. Will it rain again in 15 days? Baba told me, it's raining now, so be happy about that. Don't think about what will happen in 15 days. Karthik, just allow me. There's one anecdote I just remembered. So,
Sure.
uh, Dr. Gadekar told me that whenever it rains and wherever it rains, it is a proof of Baba's presence. That means he's trying to say that I'm there with you.
Lovely. So I have this Parsi friend of mine. He also believes very strong. I mean, Parsi Baba lover in Dubai, that is a close friend. He also strongly believes in what the rain and Baba, and he's so pleased that his engagement and wedding both had unseasonal rainfall, and he just credits it all to Baba, and he's so pleased about that. So I just thought I was reminded of that.
Absolutely. So that is basically Baba's blessings.
Yeah, yeah. There's unseasonal rainfall in Dubai as well, or unexpected unseasonal rainfall, but it's all artificially generated. So I don't know about that.
No, I also don't know about that. It's natural.
I know. They do what is called cloud seeding, and they periodically keep doing that to bring down temperatures. And I mean, it's unbelievable. I don't know what long-term damage that's going to cause, but they do that all the time here.
Wow.
Uh,
Baba had his sorry.
Yeah, Kiran, you're saying
yeah,
something?
yeah. I think looks like my wife who was also listening to the, I mean the speeches. Yeah, she recollected and said that on my marriage day in Pondicherry around May, which was quite summer, it was
Mm-hmm.
raining heavily only for that day, and probably yeah, hope it's Baba's love.
There you go. So
There
sweet.
you
So the Baba lover that I'm talking about is Roos Bay. And there you go. That's another. May is very unseasonal for Pondicherry rains. So it must be absolutely Baba's blessing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Congratulations on that.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah.
so Meher, you have Baba's blessings, both of you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, yes.
Yes, always. I think yeah, every one of us, yes, including yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Continuing. Baba had his supper in his bedroom, just a very simple supper of rice and dal, without any spices, except a little garlic, which helps digestion. Sitting in the easy chair given to him by Harry Kenmore and eating at a card table that Joseph Harv had given him. The original chair in Baba's room was quite old and its springs were broken, but Baba did not allow us to send for anything from the market. Then, on one of his visits, Harry Kenmore brought Baba a reclining chair from the United States with a pull out footrest. Baba accepted it to make Harry happy, as Harry, out of love, had taken so much care for Baba's comfort. Because Baba would not allow us to buy anything, Baba's first table in his room was homemade by Mehru, who used bamboo for the legs. Then went then when Joseph Hart was in Pune in the early 60s, he gave Baba a card table which is very light and conveniently folds up. The easy chair and card table are still in Baba's room at Mehrazad, just as everything else in his room is as it was when he used it. Almost every evening, Baba sat in the armchair while Mani read to him. We girls would be seated around Baba, sometimes sewing, as we listened to Mani. Baba loved crime stories, and his favorite detective was Rex Stout's Nero Wolf. He also enjoyed the books of Agatha Christie, especially the ones with Poirot, Edgar Wallace, and P.G. Woodhouse. Mani read all these to him, and Baba said that Mani's reading relaxed him and lightened the weight of my work on my head.
I have to take a pause here and interrupt. I'm so excited that Baba liked reading that I love. P.G. Woodhouse is one of my favorite authors, and Poirot is one of my favorite characters. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Of course, I've read almost all the works of Agatha Christie and P.G. Woodhouse, but Hercule Poirot is my favorite detective character. I just love the way he's fictionalized. So I don't know if any of you also are into reading any of these authors, but
Yes,
I'm so excited.
yes, Karthik, I want to just add that P.G. Woodhouse and Agatha Christie are also my favorite authors, and I read it in my childhood. And so there you go. There is a Baba connection now for you.
I'm
Uh,
telling you, yes, yeah. So it can't be random.
it's not random.
Yeah. Kiran, you was going to say something. I thought your mic got unmuted.
No, no, no. I think I read more of the other. What is the other one? That not Augusta Christie. We
Woodhouse.
also have no, no. The famous detective
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah. I've read Sherlock Holmes too, but I like Agatha Christie more
Agatha
than
Christie. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Sherlock Holmes is a little more dense and detail oriented. Agatha Christie
Okay.
is I mean, some of Agatha Christie's books are awesome. She's written short stories which are very good. She has written full length novels. My favorite is The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. I don't know if you've read it, Ashok. It's a beautiful book. And Murder on the Orient Express. These are all classics, I would
Yeah,
say.
I
No,
know.
okay.
And just to add, P.G. Woodhouse's vocabulary is,
Amazing.
far, far
It's
excellent,
just
amazing. Yes, absolutely.
so not very. I don't know if Woodhouse is even popular in America, but Woodhouse is very British. And though Woodhouse had a good following in America, and I think he lived for a bit in America as well. But he wrote about British culture and British, mostly the feudal system. So I was an Anglophile when I was a kid, so I loved. I used to lap up Woodhouse. I read all of Woodhouse, I think.
Good.
There's
Continue.
a ring for G.
Ashok. Oh yeah, favorite character. No, actually, my favorite character was Emsworth. Though I loved Jeeves, I loved Emsworth. You know, Blandings. You know the episodes in Blandings, right? Blandings
Yes,
Castle and Emsworth.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
You were
Okay,
saying something,
so
Karthik?
yeah, I was just going to say, if you're getting tired, just let me know. I'll read for some more time, Ashok, or you can continue all the
I'm
way.
okay for next 5 minutes, then you can take over.
Sure, please.
While Mani was reading, we opened up the card table, placed it in front of Baba, and I served him his rice and dal. Baba ate very little and very lightly in the evening. When Baba retired at night, we left his room and the men mandli came to be on watch for Baba throughout the night. From the very first, Baba never rested alone at night. Even in Pune, in his little but hut on Ferguson College Road, Baba had someone sit outside near the entrance at night to keep watch. So also here at Mehrazad, Baba always had someone with him at night in his bedroom. The Mandli took turn by turn and they came and went, not through our quarters, of course, but by the door in Baba's room that opens up into the garden. The night watchman had to be very alert. He could not shut his eyes because Baba could not call out to him and he had to watch for Baba's signal. Baba did not sleep as we sleep. He would just rest for a short while, then he would want the Mandli to help him get up. Because Baba's hip joint was broken, he could not get up by himself. Someone had to help him. Baba then would ask for a drink of water or whatever he wanted. Of course, I was never in Baba's room when the men Mandli were there. But in the morning, Baba would tell us how he passed the night. And this is how we passed our days with Baba in those last years. In the summer months, each year, we accompanied Baba to Guru Prasad in Pune. And there also we would be with him to love and serve him in the same way. The very first time we stayed at Guru Prasad was for a few days during the new life when we had come from Mahabaleshwar to Pune for a short visit. We were always inside the house at Guru Prasad. I did not even go outside to walk in the garden except on special occasions. Sometimes Baba sent us for an outing to the cinema. Those last 12 years, Baba had stopped going to the cinema and he would not be with us. We would put on our good saris, and just before we left, Baba would send for me. Baba would like to see me dressed up in a nice sari, and sometimes I would wear a little lipstick, and Baba would tell me, "Go and enjoy yourself. When you are happy, then I'm happy." And then Baba would embrace me. And the next morning at breakfast table, Baba would ask all about the details of the film we had seen.
So I will probably take over and read for
Okay,
some time
okay,
till
okay.
the end.
There's a photograph here.
Yeah, Arnavaz, I think Meru, I don't know who this is. Let's see. Mehera, Katie, and Meru. Yeah, this is Meru, this is Katie, and this is Arnavaz in the Mehrazad garden in 1960s. Lovely pic. So Baba gave many darshan programs at Guru Prasad, but we never attended these programs. We were always behind the scenes, so we only peeped at the East-West gathering in 1962 and the other darshan programs at Guru Prasad from behind a curtain. As I have said, Baba's health was not at all good, and yet his love for his lovers was so beautiful that he gave darshan to please them and to make them happy, even when it caused him much discomfort. He loved to see others happy, especially his lovers. At one darshan program, it was very hot, and Baba's feet had swollen with the heat and from sitting in one place for so long without moving. Baba was perspiring, but he could not get up. His lovers were garlanding him and bowing down to him and embracing him. And although Baba was so uncomfortable, he gave love to each one. With words, it is simple to convey your message, but Baba had to give love and a little special attention to each of the hundreds of people there without saying a word. Baba had to use so much energy to embrace them and show them his love without speaking. Very gradually, as the years passed, Baba's health gave way. We did our best to make him comfortable, but we did not know what was going to happen. We would try to amuse Baba with interesting stories, and he would just smile a little. In 1968, much of the time Baba was doing his seclusion work. At Mehera, he would do it in Mandali Hall, and at Guru Prasad in his bedroom. And this work told on Baba's physical body very much. When he went into seclusion, Baba would gesture, no noise. And we all still went about our work, but very, very quietly. There was to be no banging of pails, or talking, or dogs barking, or even birds calling. And we tried our best not to do anything to disturb Baba's work. In Guru Prasad, Baba did his work in a big chair in the middle of his bedroom, and none of us were allowed to touch it. Baba put much emphasis on this, and I had to be very careful not to brush against this chair when I did Baba's room. This chair is now in the museum room at Mehrabad. One day Baba said to us, people will want to see me and they won't be able to see me. At that time, we did not understand what Baba meant. We thought that many will come to see Baba, but perhaps Baba will be inside having his food, and so they would not be able to see him. So we did not take it seriously. In October 1968, I think all of a sudden, Baba said, I tell you that the time has come and it is very near. We looked at each other and thought, ah, yes, Baba's manifestation is near and he will speak and give mass darshan. How could we have such an idea that Baba would drop his body? It never entered our heads. But on 31st January 1969, he did leave his beautiful physical form. As I have said, Baba suffered for each one of us, for his love for each one of us. In many, many ways, Baba suffered. Baba had so much work and put so much stress and strain on his body with his fasts, with his seclusions, with his must work, when he walked for miles and miles in the hot sun and traveled in third-class trains for days without rest, with his contacting the lepers, with his bowing down to thousands of sadhus and poor people, and with his two accidents. And Baba had to constantly put up with the natures of those around him and with many other things. So much he has gone through. I cannot tell you of all the suffering that he took upon himself. And he used to just keep quiet and not say a word. Baba had to swallow all the suffering and all the difficulties he had to go through. Such a strain it was, never to be able to speak out. We cannot know how great that suffering was for Baba. Another photograph this is a famous photograph again. This is in Mehera, Mehera and Meher Baba in Mehera's garden, Mehera in the late 1960s. Keeping silence all those years was most difficult for Baba. Baba's nature was happy and cheerful. He loved to talk and to laugh and to sing. But after silence, Baba could not say anything. He had to spell everything out on the alphabet board. Baba had a very fine sense of humor, but if he wanted to be funny or to tease someone, he would have to point to the letters on the board. And by the time he had finished saying it, half the fun was lost. Then Baba gave up even the alphabet board, and with great patience, he would have to repeat again and again through gestures what he wanted to convey. And Baba's nature was to do everything quickly. Baba loved to laugh, but even that sound he denied himself and held back. All those years, Baba had to hold back and not say what he wanted to say. Every second of the day, every minute, every day, every month, every year, for 44 years, Baba could not say what he wanted to say. In 1941, Upasni Maharaj knew that he was soon going to give up his body and he wanted to see Baba one more time. Baba agreed to meet him alone, but not in Sakori. So it was arranged that they meet outside Sakori. They met, and with tears in his eyes, Maharaj told Baba, "Give up your silence. Now it is bringing too much suffering." And Baba replied, "No, I have come to suffer, and my work is most important. I must finish my work." And how much Baba suffered as time passed. He never told us he was suffering, but he was. So this happened in 1941. Baba continued his silence and lived on for more than 28 years after that. And for those last 12 years, Baba could not even walk. Baba lived those 12 years with great difficulty, yet not the sound of a groan or a moan did he make. His health was such that he must have wanted to, but he did not complain. Baba quietly suffered to the very end. Baba suffered for our sake, for each one, and for all humanity, and for all creation. Baba has given a great push to every soul in creation. He is the creator, and it all belongs to him. And Baba is all forgiving and very, very loving. Sometimes we made mistakes because it is not easy to live with the avatar. He always tested one. And when that time came, we did sometimes forget and make mistakes. But Baba at once forgive us and say, "Don't worry." Sorry, but Baba would at once forgive us and say, "Don't worry. Take it out of your head. Forget it." And we did our best to serve him and love him to the best of our ability. So Baba has suffered for each one of us, and now we should love him because he loves us and went through all this suffering for each one of us. Always hold on to Baba's daman and love him. That is the one real thing that you can do in this life. Baba may seem to try to snatch his daman from your hands, so be sure not to let go. Be sure to hold on tightly. Be true to his love for you. Beautiful. So, given that we are ending this chapter, maybe we can stop here and discuss if there's anything to be discussed, or we can wrap up a few minutes early, whichever way.
Yeah, Karthik, it's really know, heart touching, the divine love which
Yeah,
Baba has for everyone. I mean, and which we have. He says that we should also love him, as human beings, from man to God, and how compassionate he was in taking the suffering for each one in the creation. So that's a real, I mean, example of tolerance and compassion.
indeed. All right. So again, I agree with what you said. It's a great couple of chapters that we read today, and we'll continue next Saturday with the Mehera journey. Tomorrow is discourses. I need a volunteer to actually anchor the call because I'm going to be running. I'm doing the 10K Dubai tomorrow morning. So I need somebody to volunteer because the time will, I mean, I'll be on the road at that time. So I'll figure out if Ashish can help. I'll put out a message on the group anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I will be tomorrow. We have Nagar Sankirtana in Bangalore, so I
The
will be
morning,
able.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. No problem. All right. Jai Baba Ashok, have a good one. Jai
Yeah,
Baba Kiran, and let's stay in touch. Yeah. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba Karthik, Jai Baba Ashok.
Jai Baba.
yeah. Or Karthik,